And it's all on the paper. But in reality, we can never build it. We can imagine to build a bridge from here to moon. You can calculate as an engineer just how it should be done, as it goes up this way, that way. We don't have even the material to build it. The string theory and theories like that, you may be able to build the universe based on the string theory, but our universe is not built based on that theory. They might have to give it to some other god to make it. Although it's mathematically true, but it is not the mathematics of reality. It's the mathematics of an imaginary universe that is not ours. So, but there are many strange things in the universe. I was in Egypt looking at the pyramids, for all my experience in the 50 years that I have, and they told me that, oh, the second pyramid is smaller than the first one. The Cheops is the big one, and the other one, I think, is his grandson, Khafre, or somebody who made this, and to the respect of his grandfather, made it a little smaller. I said, well, if the pharaohs continues to do that, would have done that, if they would exist now, you would see that respecting your grandfather and so on, the pyramid would be just like the grave that we have right now in the graveyard, would be small, because every generation would make it a little smaller. But those respects are gone. So they told me that it took just 20 years. And Egyptian work on, I don't know, 3 months in a year because it's too hot. I said to myself, we need more explanations. I cannot fathom this, and I'm a contractor, that those stones, more than 1 million, 1.5, I don't know, million tons or so, 1.5 tons, 2 tons, 3 tons. These guys, they brought it from somewhere long, Aswan, all the way through the river to take it up there. Doesn't budge, it doesn't go to my head. I think there's some other secret in that desert. If they go to the desert, they would find some other secret that has to be more explanations. It's not enough. So I speculated a few things on the science, and if the scientists, they bring the matter, such as I've studied right now, I don't know. I hope this section that I dedicated to Mr. Stephen Hawking, I wish somebody would give it to him to see if it's of any use to him, or if he could see that maybe the stagnation is unwinding itself, and finally there are some philosophical answers to the scientific issues. And I'm ending this brief discussion to this material universe, which is infinite, or could be infinite. Infinity and material, how does that work? I'm going to the prime directive of Abdu'l-Baha, which I explained before, and he says material universe is exactly the counterpart. It has a counterpart, a spiritual counterpart on the other side. There are a parallel universe between spiritual and physical. Not these parallel universes that, by the way, that nowadays they're talking about. There are many, many universes, including in the grand design I've seen. I don't think there are many, many universes. When we say universe, we try to mean at least one wholesome body of the material. Now, if many of it is unknown to us, don't call it another universe. It's the same universe that we just do not know. I explained before that just like in the spectrum of light, we can see only visible light, but there are ultraviolet, ultraviolet and ultra red, and all this other invisible lights like X-rays and whatnot. Matter might be the same way. We might just be able to detect so much of it, and there's so much others beyond the spectrum of understanding, of registering it, Our tools cannot register those things. There are more matters around us in different ways we cannot encounter. But it's all in one universe, though. Another universe doesn't exist. Even the parallel universe that Abdul Baha explains, a spiritual universe, spiritually, that's not another place. It's right here. It's just that it's different. So I'm just going to go continue on what I was saying about this material universe. It's infinite. It's physical. But if I use that prime directive by Abdul Baha about parallel universe of physical and metaphysical, then I would say that just as inside the womb of a mother we were there, and we didn't know the outside exists, our mother was all blood. That's all we were. It's a bloody life inside the womb. And through those bloodstream, the food goes into the fetus, into us. So we have no understanding of our mother to be a spiritual. But as soon as we are born out of the womb, we see the spiritual side of where we were inside. All of a sudden our mother smiles to us. We feel it. A spiritual encounter comes in. I'm speculating. The entire material universe is material inside, but from outside it is a spiritual. Just like in the womb of the mother. When we come out, we're dealing with the same universe, which looks to me like a womb. It is kind of a globe. If we come out, we see this matter, which means mother, material, maternal. This mother from outside, it's all spiritual. So the world is metaphysical and spiritual from outside, but within is physical. What we see as physical is only part of the reality, that we are in it. So there's no next life as such that we go to. It's just that it's like a womb, we come out. And our mother hugs us. If we're alive, if the fetus is dead, when it comes out, you know what happens. So these are a little bit of the philosophical answer to some scientific matter, and how I look in a philosophical way, of course, and deductions of it, how these things could be. There's a different way of understanding, just like we understand from the dimensions that we are by our five senses. We collect those, and therefore, based on those evidences, we go towards understanding. For example, the earth is round. But if we were outside in different dimensions, which the spiritual understanding gives us that dimensions, then we look at the bigger picture. As long as we're inside, we don't understand, we don't have the good view, I should say. If we get out, then we have the bigger view, and then we see all this thing that we call it science was only because of the lack of the faculties that we didn't have. The moment we have those faculties in a different dimensions and look at, the science becomes irrelevant. Science is irrelevant for a shepherd, for an absolutely the most illiterate man in the universe that can see with his eyes. Science becomes irrelevant to him if he is up in a satellite looking at Earth to understand whether the Earth is round or not. Because he looks at it and he sees it, doesn't need any science. Just have a different view. But on the Earth, we all need science to find out if the Earth is round or not. So, philosophers, divine philosophers, who reconstruct the religion of God, dissect it, get inside it, take from a small word that Abdul Baha says, they go into those like a binocular, we get it, and look at it like a telescope. And to that eye, all of a sudden things look differently. I just explain my views on a dimensions that, with the help of Baha'u'llah, his internet that is installed on my head, on my soul, I can see things. That's how I saw some of these scientific problems. I hope it was useful. And I hope there's time. I hope there are good questions. These are some of the questions I've been asked and I've been trying to respond to in my life. There's much more, but this is few of them I thought it might be interesting. Very well. Today, just for the record, it is Friday, 15th of November, 19th of November. I have to look at my glass. Yes, today is 19th, Friday the 19th at 12:30 at the night, Friday in the month of November. And I'm speculating. Am I really? See you. Thank you.